Hi, I'm Kyle Mitchell with Whitaker Brothers, and I'm going to give you a brief tour of the Yale P7200 and P7400. There's a very subtle difference between the two of them, which I'll go over later, but for all intents and purposes, they're essentially the same machine. Come on in a little bit closer, and let's take a look. All right, so what's the difference between the P7200 and the P7400? Why do you buy one versus the other? There's really only two differences that you need to worry about. The first one is that on the P7200, it has a semi-automatic mode where you hold it and it runs the machine, and then you let go and it stops. And the other one is just where it runs without being held. But the catch is the machine won't stop itself when it runs out of paper. So if you put a stack in here, hit go, and walk away, come back 10 minutes later, it'll still be running. The P7400 is upgraded in that it has an automatic shutoff if it detects that paper hasn't gone through it in a while. So if you were to come back in 10 minutes, all your folded paper would be in the bin and the machine will have turned itself off. The second difference comes down to the different variety of folds that you're able to accomplish. The P7200 is an expert at basic 8.5 by 11 half folds or letter folds. It's really not made for anything more dynamic than that. The P7400 has a greater range of folds that it's able to accomplish. Which one you need depends on which fold you want to do. If you're just doing letter folds all day long into an envelope, you don't need the P7400. The P7200 will do just fine. But if there are certain folds that you need done, check the list and make sure that the P7400 can do it. So you're going to have a number of parts. You're going to have two fold plates, and you're going to have the pieces for the catch tray. Now this is what it looks like when it's completely done. It's going to be assembled. The catch tray comes off the edge of the table, so that as the paper comes out the bottom, it lands basically in the general vicinity of that catch tray. To assemble the catch tray, it's not difficult. You just get these pieces together. I'm not going to be able to do it right now, but you're going to get these pieces together, and you're going to fit these plastic pieces in over top of them, so it looks something like this. Now the one part that does catch a few people up are the fold trays. The longer fold tray is going to go in the front. There we go. It rests in there nicely. We're not bending any metal to get it in, and when it's in, there's going to be just a little tiny amount of play, but you shouldn't be able to pull it out. If you can pull it out, that's an issue. In order to remove it, you should lift and pull out. Now on the back side, you have two different options. One side is the side you're going to want the most often. The other side is exclusively reserved for the half fold. It's this side that's got a piece bent upwards. It also has a warning right here for half fold only. That is not the side you want to insert in the machine. We want to insert this side, okay? So you can actually read everything on here right side up. That's how you know you're putting it in correctly. And once again, we've got a silver bar. We're going to put the paper full. You're going to put the full plate in over top of that silver bar, and it should rest in there very easily. We can't pull it out, but if we lift it and pull it, it comes out easily. So now you've got your Yale P7200 or P7400 completely set up, and all we have to do is push two buttons to get it started. Power it on, we're going to hit the button. Now you're going to hear a little bit of a squeal right now. That's just normal. That's the sound the paper folder makes when it's not running any paper. You'll hear that sound go away when it is running paper. It's nothing to worry about that. The first step to operating one of these machines is figuring out exactly what folds you want. In the Yale P7200 and P7400, you've got a whole bunch of pictures on the sides of the fold plates that make it really easy to see what you want. You start here by looking for your size. We're not using A4 size paper. We're not using legal paper. We're using letter paper. So the machine is telling us that these adjustments are going to be the yellow pictures. And the first picture I go to looks like a letter fold, and that's what I'd like to do with this machine. So I'm going to loosen up these thumb screws, and I'm going to move the fold plate such that it lands right on this arrow right here. So I'm going to try to be as precise as I can. Looks like I've got it on both sides. I'm going to apply pressure here, which will hold it in place, and we're going to tighten those screws. So there, we've done it for that side. Now we'll do it for the back side as well. We want to loosen these thumb screws. We want to make sure we find the picture of the fold that we want. We know we're using the yellow. Okay, so I see the fold we want right there, and it looks like that's the arrow that tells us where we want to have our fold plate set for. So I'm going to very slightly move these. Okay, we found our arrow. Now I'm going to tighten these fold plates, and I'm going to insert it back in the rear. So we've set our fold plates, and now we're ready to go. I'm taking normal 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I'm inserting it right into the feed tray. So it's not going to win any awards for speed, but it certainly gets the job done. The other thing the Martin Yale P7200 and P7400 do well, multi-sheets. So that's what you see this crevice right here for. We're going to put our paper in. We're going to rest it for just a second with our hand. I'm going to turn the equipment on and run it. And it took that entire set, folded it simultaneously. So here you go. We have three. No, it's in there. Yep, we have 3 sheets that have folded all at one time. That multi-sheet feeder is pretty effective in small volumes, which really encompasses the Martin Yale P7200 and P7400's duty cycle. This is a low volume paper folder, and if you're going to be using it for high volumes, you might be disappointed. It's not going to win any awards for speed, but it gets the job done. All right, so when it comes to the Martin Yale P7200 and P7400, what's my opinion? I think these are very light-duty products. They're not made for folding a whole lot of paper. They're not going to last for folding a whole lot of paper. They fit very nicely into a budget, though. They're very inexpensive. It's tough to get a paper folder that's even worth spending your money on for less than this. So these are what I would consider the bottom level of value when it comes to paper folds. But they do work. If you're doing a few hundred folds per week, that's not so bad. And this is going to save you a lot of time, too. Especially if you want to fold multiple sheets of paper and stuff them into an envelope. It's going to save you time, and like I said, it's going to be inexpensive. But I can't overstate that this is a light-duty paper folder. My other complaint with this is that the way that the paper ejects, it doesn't stack it, and sometimes, especially if you have an air conditioner on, it doesn't take much to push all that paper that's coming out of the machine over and off of the catch tray. So at that point, it's not really a catch tray, you're just shooting paper off the side of your table. And if you spend just a little bit more money, you can get some paper folders that have exit conveyors, and those are the cream of the crop. That's the best way to go, especially if the order of the paper is important as you fold it. Otherwise, there's not a lot to say about these two products. They're very low end, they're light on features, they're very light on duty cycle. But if you use them right, they can be a great addition to your office. My name's Kyle with Whitaker Brothers. Thanks for watching.